Hey, what's up guys? It's Biff again, here to go through another synthesis tutorial on plucks and pads. If you missed my earlier tutorial on how to make drums from scratch in synthesis, you can check it out by clicking on the screen where it says, whatever it says, the earlier tutorial, or it will also be below in the description. So anyway, let's jump right into it. First thing you want to do is initialize your synthesizer. If you can't find your Initialize button on the front panel of your synthesizer, it sometimes is in the menus or your load. So if you're having problems finding that, please check your user manual because all synthesizers are different and I don't expect you to have my exact one. So we're going to start off the pluck. A lot of the attributes have pretty much the same start as what we did with the bass drum and the snare. So let's go ahead and get that envelope dialed in. You're going to want a quick attack, a little bit of delay, and no sustain. You can decide if you want a little bit of release, depends on the pluck you're doing, but I usually kind of leave that pretty close to none. Not to the point where I'm getting a clip, because you do get a clip if you take all your release out. So as far as setting your oscillator, honestly, you can use any oscillator that you like the sound of. I'm going to use a triangle wave today and probably a square wave for the second one. I like to do them one octave above and below each other on the different oscillators, but you can also just go ahead and just do one oscillator. It will work that way. It just gives you more modulation choices with the two. So all I did there was just attach our arpeggiator. A lot of times I do use an arpeggiator while I am calibrating my sounds. You can make them a lot slower. So that way it gives you just a constant noise reference while you're moving your filters and everything. But that's pretty much it for the pluck. As far as the basic pluck goes, there's a lot of things you can do to change it. You can add distortion, you can throw on some reverb, you can change the length of the pluck. But it's basically just a really quick attack with a quick release, and it's a short sound. Usually use an arpeggiator. Sometimes you can use it as leads, or anything actually that you would want to use it for. So after that one's done, I would save it. If you want to, you can sample it to a sampler, so that way you'll have a sample outside your synthesizer if you wanted to work on it, without having to turn on your synthesizer or whatever. I have an auto sample function on my MPC that allows me to take notes every 12 notes like every octave or so, you know, so that way it'll pitch bend with the sample and sound good still. A lot of the other programs are also allowing that too, like Free Loops I think has one, and you can get VST plugins for Cakewalk and stuff, so that way you can take your laptop around if you want to and still have your synthesizers that you've made with you. Next we're going to be talking about doing a pad. Pads are way different than anything we've done before, so this may take a little bit longer to explain, but you want to initialize your synthesizer. It should just have a sine wave, or whatever your synthesizer starts with. Sometimes it's a square wave. But once you get that initialized, you're going to go into your oscillator and then change it to something with a lot of resonance to it. Loosely, like a sawtooth or a square wave is best for it because it gives it more stuff, more lines in the filter to work with. Because I like to have it cut down a lot, especially with a pad. So once you get dialed in a little bit like you like, I usually turn my second oscillator down an octave. So now you basically just have an organ sound. Organ sounds usually start off like this. It's just immediate attack, long sustain, short release. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn this into a long attack. And how long the attack is really going to depend on what tempo your music's at. Because if you're playing at a fast tempo, you're going to want the pads to release a lot quicker. So you want to turn them back. And the best way to calibrate this personally, I think, is just making it in the song that you're using or with a click track of the tempo of the song you're using, so you can know if you want it to stop every 4th beat, 8th beat, 16th beat, or whatever. You can calibrate it to that exact time as when how long it takes to open, how long it takes to close, etc. So now that we have this one turned closer to what it should be, we're going to do the same thing with the filter. But also with the filter, I loosely modulate my filter envelope amount. So that way, while it's rising, it will kind of bloom and open up the filter so that you can have like a more dramatic pad. You can do them without this. You can add distortion, you can add chorus, you can do all kinds of stuff, but this is just how I like to make my basic pads. So that's your basic pad right there. Pretty easy to do, right? So that goes through the pluck and the pad. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the next episode, but I'm trying to get over the basics right now. If you do like this series, I will be doing a Patreon or a Skillshare soon with advanced tactics. So if you want to learn how to make complex sounds like pianos, organs, um, flutes, tropical drums, I will go through how to make all those different sounds in a tutorial. It will be linked when I finally get it done, probably to the last one of these tutorials, or maybe to all of these after I do start getting the more advanced tutorials done. I appreciate your time and have a good day. If you like this, please subscribe and like it. I definitely am not being sponsored for anything from YouTube. So any support that you would like to give me would be great. I also have a website you can check out. It will be in the description. It is www.thevesselband.com. I did just come out with a teaser to my single today, so give that a check out. Later, guys.